Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be speaking about super longevity. And joining us is James Strole, who's the director for the Coalition of Radical Life Extension. Welcome, James, and let's make sure we're all on the same page. What is super longevity?
Well, thank you for having me on your show, George. Super longevity is actually different than just longevity in the sense that we have doctors and scientists within the coalition that are working to extend life way beyond what would be called our normal lifespans. Now, we already know human beings can live 120 to 125 biologically because it's been done. But what these doctors and scientists are working on is to extend life way past that with strength and vitality. So we're really looking at unlimited lifespans. Now, I don't know if you heard of Ray Kurzweil, but he's one of the top inventors of our time. He's considered the new Edison or the Edison of this era. He's predicted in 7 years we'll actually reach what's called the era of unlimited lifespans. That's his prediction. And he's been so right in so many of these predictions. But we're excited about what's happening right now in this arena. And we're putting on a huge event. The coalition is this year and every year, actually, in the summer, we do this event called RADFest. RAADFEST, which stands for Revolution Against Aging and Death. And we have all the top doctors, scientists, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders, and many of the general public there to actually encourage and inspire and show what's now available to reach lifespans that are with strength and vitality that are way beyond what we've known as human beings. So this is a huge movement that's happening, and it's really beautiful because we're actually being able to start creating a environment that people can live with vitality and strength for possibly unlimited lifespan. So we're really excited about it.
Wow. Okay, so this is a lot to digest, and love to explore this for quite a bit, but we have a limited amount of time. So I'm wondering if you could, maybe just provide some highlights for someone who's never heard of this as even an idea before.
Yeah. So many people haven't, but it's becoming obviously, more popular all the time. But give people an example, say RADFest this coming September 7 through 10 in Anaheim, California. Like I said, we'll have doctors and scientists discussing all the different innovations and therapies now that are coming on the table, including new stem cell protocols to help stop aging or at least create a maximum wellness until what Ray Kurzweil calls live long, and he says live long enough to live forever, because things are moving exponentially so fast that what we have today, for example, to bring us vitality and strength, next month there'll be something new. So it's like step by step, we're walking into the future together. There's also George Church, one of the Harvard scientists who's working on gene therapies and also CRISPR. He'll be speaking. He's one of our keynote speakers. Very exciting man doing fantastic work along with Dr. Sinclair out of Harvard. We also have one of the most famous biohackers, Brian Johnson. You might have heard about him in the news, who's spending millions of dollars every year. He actually sold his business, and he's an entrepreneur, and now he's dedicated his life to helping reverse aging. He has data now that has showed that he's reversed his age about 4 years already. And he'll be speaking there, how to do that, how to live with strength and vitality, what we should be putting first in our lives, because we've always said as human beings, you can't take your money with you if you die. Well, here's a good example. He made all this money, but he was actually sick from doing that, from wearing himself out. So now he's dedicated himself to reviving himself. So it's a very exciting new era we're in, and he'll be there speaking in person to tell us how he's doing that. And so, it's a world now that's happening that's taking us into the future of a health and vitality like we've never seen before.
Wow. Okay. Now, do we have any examples of people who have reached into extended ages, or is it just too new?
It's just too new. No, it's just like, we're just getting up in the air, you might say, like the Wright brothers. There was no, people said, well, if you can fly, God would have given us wings if you're supposed to fly. There's always that human skepticism, but it's never been done before. And the Wright brothers proved, okay, that obviously that their whole vision was possible, even though most everybody thought it wasn't. Well, it's the same thing with this right now. It's too new to, we haven't really gotten up in the air, but we're on the move, and we have the formulas. We have many of our top scientists have protocols and therapies that are just waiting for human trials. There's always an issue of getting funding, though. That's sometimes the tragedy of these situations. If there was the funding for some of these scientists right now, who are considered some of the top scientists in the country, we'd be in a whole different place already. But unfortunately, the priorities aren't always there. But that's one thing I help work at, to help get funding for these programs.
Very good. Now, is there currently any protocols or things that people can do that will allow them to at least sort of feel some benefits immediately?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. This is what's great, and so many people aren't privy to. Yeah, there's stem cell programs now that are available here in the United States that can do amazing things for rejuvenation, for joint repair, exosomes, which are the signaling systems of the stem cell. People are doing these full body exosome treatments. There's senolytics, which actually helps get rid of senescent cells in the body, which bog our system down. I personally do all of these. I'm actually 75.
Whoa.
And I feel better than I've had do when I was 30. I'm strong. I can do most anything I want to do, which is a key thing, right? And as we get here up in age, we want to be able to do things that we did when we were younger, that we're not debilitated and aren't able to enjoy life. I mean, we work all of our life to have a good life, and then unfortunately, most of us face this some decrepit state that we can't really enjoy. So this is really what this whole purpose is about: to create this strength and vitality for everyone who wants to really live life with more abundance and strength.
Very good. Are these expensive things?
Well, like everything, some of them start out expensive, like the cell phone, for example. No one could afford it when it first came out. But after a while, when the market got larger and people started, first of all, it was only available for more wealthy people, right? They could afford it. And now, though, everybody has one almost. Same thing with these protocols. Some of them are still pretty expensive. Others no. You can get senolytics, for example, very inexpensively. I remember stem cell treatments were like 3 times the amount just 5 years ago. Now you can get them reasonably. Same thing with exosomes. So all these prices get driven down as from public demand.
Okay. Now, James, not everyone might have heard of some of these technical terms, or perhaps medical terms if you're using, but I know that one that I've heard at least a number of times is stem cells. Can you explain that in very simple language?
Okay, so we all have stem cells. They're the rejuvenating cells that for our bodies. But as we age, of course, they begin to deplete, like everything else, and not as functional, and they get old, and so now we can derive stem cells from many sources, from our own fat. We can derive them from from different cells of our bodies per se, or even placenta stem cells. And you might say the more young or fresh these stem cells are, the more effective they can be in the body. But they're the building blocks of the cells, and they're very, very effective. I think most, in general, when I go out now and talk about this subject, the majority of people do know about stem cells. They just don't know how to access them necessarily. And so if people are interested in stem cell treatments, they can go online, for example, look up and do it, cautiously, in the sense that make sure you investigate the company who's providing those, et cetera. But there's some really legitimate companies doing some really great work in stem cells right now to rejuvenate, many times being just used to rejuvenate cell joints. Many athletes now are finding amazing things. Anthony Robbins, for example, talked about how he had a really bad shoulder in a ski accident, and then he couldn't get any help. And finally, he found a stem cell treatment that just within a few days completely healed his shoulder. And he was in from 1 to 10 pain all the time. So these things are really miraculous in the context of what it can be done in the right environment.
Wow. Okay. Well, James, there is so much more I want to ask you, but we're just about out of time. I wonder if you could provide the website that viewers could go to for more information on everything that you've said and also about the RADFest.
Right. I would advise people to go on our RADFest website. That's RAADFEST, radfest.com, and look up. You'll see everything about this event coming up. You'll learn about the coalition and what we're doing, what our goals are. This is really, I'll say, probably one of the, if not the greatest step for humankind that's ever been taken to actually create a human environment that is raising and elevating the quality of life, along with the real, I'll say, building blocks of a new future, for all of us, that we're not destroying ourselves anymore or each other. And so it's going to create a whole new environment of the value of human life. And so go on radfest.com, take a look for yourself. Everybody's welcome to this event. And believe me, it's life-changing. When you come there, you won't believe how much you'll learn and how you'll come out of there feeling more excited about life.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us, James. We're going to wrap up right now.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.